Cancer and Autoimmune Girl stylist. As you know, I believe in style in sickness and in health. I have 4 major illnesses, and one of them is an autoimmune disease. And I believe that there is a sisterhood, a profound bond that I like to call the divine secrets of the Cancer-Auto Sisterhood. So to help me elaborate on this bond, I thought, wouldn't it be great if I could have someone who's also beaten cancer? So I decided to bring along my aunt.
Hi everybody, my name is Ruth Flores. I am the aunt of this stylist girl. Her mother is my sister.
So when were you diagnosed with colon cancer?
I was diagnosed last June 2008. I felt so fatigued a week before that, and I had this stomach pain and darkening of the stool that I was alarmed, and so I went to the doctor, and from the colonoscopy it went to operation, to surgery, and the rest is chemotherapy.
So I should ask myself, I said, when was I diagnosed with the Myasthenia Gravis? That's my autoimmune disease. So I was also diagnosed in 2008. I was diagnosed in October of 2008, but I had had many health problems leading up to that, and so I started seeing a doctor, and they kept telling me that nothing was wrong with me. So I would do yoga. I used to do yoga 5 days a week, and I started falling down out of nowhere. I started having difficulty speaking. I used to do a lot of public speaking. I still do, but I was delivering a speech, and the first time I was attacked, my eyes started rolling to the back of my head, and my voice started contorting. And nobody understood what I was saying. I was delivering a speech in church, and everybody said, "Stop the speech, stop the speech." So they kept trying to help me, and nothing was working. And then I remember it was September of 2008. You were already ill. I had lost somebody I loved in church to a stroke. She was, my Tita Annie was sick off and on, and I was having dreams. Even before I got sick, God said, Tita Annie will die. 3 things will happen. Tita Annie will die. She will not make it. And she didn't make it. And you got sick, and God said, there is another person in this family who is really ill. So I was worried about all these different people that I loved, and like, who could possibly be sick? And being the youngest out of 15 grandchildren, I really didn't think it was me. I fell down this long flight of stairs at work. I couldn't feel anything below my waist. And I couldn't get up. I couldn't move. And I was hanging on with my arms, and I was like, get up, get up. My mind was saying, get up. My first thought was, oh my gosh, I can't feel my quadriceps. I know I brought them with me when I left the house this morning. Where did they go? And then my second thought was, I've always wanted to be Annette Funicello. Did I want to be like her so much that I got her neurological disorder? And then my third thought, I got serious, and I said, you know what, I'm number 3. I'm the third one. So my Tita baby is sick, and apparently I'm sick too. I was diagnosed a few weeks after that. Now, had you had any major health problems previous to having the colon cancer?
Yes, I had one. I had heart bypass in 1998. And before that, when I was 46 years old, I had hysterectomy. I was never a sickly kid, but all my illnesses were major. When it comes, it's a major one. Like the heart bypass. Small. The bypass was due to I have an artery which is not really in its proper place. It's called the anomalous position of the artery. And it was congenital. So they had to put a bypass, a single bypass, to help me breathe and be well again.
Have I had any health problems previous to the Myasthenia Gravis? Yes. The most significant was polycystic ovarian syndrome. I got that when I was 19 or 20, or at least I got diagnosed then, and it hurt. It hurt like a mother. It hurt a lot, but I tried for many years to find the right medication, and then we got to a point when I was 24 where we finally found a medication that worked. So for a few months, I experienced what it was like to be without pain. And then I got the Myasthenia Gravis, and that reactivated the polycystic ovarian syndrome. So that has been active. I'm 28 now. So the myasthenia gravis and the polycystic ovarian syndrome have been coming together sometimes at odds on multiple occasions. I was diagnosed a few months after you were diagnosed with a colon cancer. What did it feel like to have your niece sick while you were also sick?
When I first learned that, Jessica, that you were sick, I was really saddened. Because when you have cancer, people say that the hardest thing is to accept that you're ill with cancer. I did not undergo that. I accepted it with God's grace and prayed to Him that, okay, you gave me this. I hope I am saving my loved ones, my family especially, from sickness such as this. So when I learned that you were sick, and it is a serious one, I was really saddened that I cried. And so, despite my, against doctor's advice, I went to your hospital to visit you because I couldn't be visiting other people when I was sick because my immune system went down during the chemo. But I said I can put on my mask, and then we decided to visit you. I was really very shocked and very sad that you got sick.
I had a lot of visitors in the hospital. That was definitely one of the most memorable moments because I also, even to this day, wear masks and gloves to work and to go out. So I know that when you're sick, you can't really go to the hospital unless you're going there to be treated. So to have Tita Baby visit me meant so much. I know that there were people who knew I was ill, who were healthy, who promised to visit, that I never saw again in my life, who that I'd been close to for many years after I got sick. Of course, there were lots of people who were very loyal. So it touched me very much that you saw me in the hospital when I could barely move. I was fully conscious and everything, even though I was in pain, and so it made me feel like there was somebody out there who got it. Somebody who knew. People always say, I'll visit, and some people do, and some people think they always have tomorrow to visit. They don't really get what it's like to be ill. So I felt like I have somebody who knows what it's like to be ill and is doing it at the exact same time.
Empathize with one another,
So what treatment did you undergo?
I had surgery when they found it. I had cancer in my colonoscopy. During the colonoscopy, they removed the tumor there and all the lymph nodes. Then after the surgery, I had to have chemotherapy, and that lasted for supposedly a 12-cycle chemo for 6 months, which is every other week. It lasted for 8 months. It became 8 months because during the first 2 months that I was undergoing chemo, I lost weight, and the doctor stopped the treatment and asked me to bring back the weight because he said, you cannot be losing weight. You have to try to eat as much, no matter how painful it is, because during the chemo treatment I developed mouth sores that I couldn't eat. And then I have a daughter who's a doctor, and she told me, Mom, you really have to eat and fight it because otherwise you will be hospitalized and your treatment will be stopped. You don't want it. At first I was happy it stopped because that week of treatment really made me feel bad. And so the rest, having a rest period for longer intervals really made me happy. But then I talked to myself and said, if the protocol asked for only 12 treatments every other week, which is 6 months, and if the doctor keeps on postponing it, who will be the loser? It will be me. So I thought the effectiveness of the treatment will not be as good as when it is supposed to be for 6 months. And so I really tried to eat so that I will not lose weight.